what got you back into singing? Because I think most of us, um, started to see, um, it is Shanna, Elle, and Sinise, and then they all said, "Oh, look who we just bumped into." I mean, how did that whole reunion thing just so? Because it just felt like one day we, Shanna and Sinise are posting pictures with you, and the next, you're performing with um, not DJ Clue, DJ and
Deep
D Nice. So how
at
did
the
how
Kennedy Center.
yeah? So how did the whole coming out of the woodworks just happen?
Um, that to me, it still blows my mind when I think about how that all happened because I literally had no intentions. It's like you always, even before my dad passed, my mom passing, or just other people in my life who know me, who would
Mhm.
always go, you're not giving up singing, like you are gonna sing again, right? And I would go, you know what? The one thing about music is that you don't, once a singer, you're always a singer. So when
Mhm.
people say, you don't sing anymore, it's like maybe not professionally, I'm not recording an album, but I'm still a singer. It's just who I am.
Mhm.
Um, so I hate when people would say stuff like that because I'm like, that's not the way to say it. I am a singer, but I don't feel like explaining this to you. So when I made that decision to go back to school, which was probably around spring, where I started kind of looking into these programs, and I just said, oh, I'm just gonna do it. And once I started getting everything organized, and I remember it might have been a roll back a few months before that, like around the holiday, around Christmas of, oh, what years? It's 24,
Yeah,
22?
2022.
Yeah,
Okay.
20, around 22. So it was a year after my mom had passed. And I was like on Instagram and I would always do that, just see what other people are doing, or look at people's page, like a low key stalker.
Low-key stalker like this.
Yes, I had like this bogus Finster page and or Finstagram, whatever you want to call it, like a fake Instagram. And it was my face, but you couldn't really tell. And I'm like holding a cat, and it was like my oldest niece, her cat. And I was following like really no, maybe a couple people. I want to say I'm following like Kamala Harris and maybe Jared Leto. The weirdest combination of people to follow. And I was stalking people, and then I started thinking, God, it would really be nice to like reconnect with Shawnee's, who I knew had been looking for me
Wow.
because other people had told me they had either seen on Twitter at the time, when it was still called Twitter, that she was posting pictures of her and I
Wow.
and asking people like, if you've seen this missing girl, please let me know. And I was like, what? And then I remember searching and finding some of these posts. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, well, how do I do this? Because I was like, I don't want to create a Twitter page. I was on Facebook at one point. I got off of Facebook and I was kind of taking a break from social media.
Mhm.
So the fake Instagram was literally just to stalk people. And then I started thinking about Shauna because she was part of Southpaw Management, and they were like
Mhm.
my last management team for the It's All About You project. And so found her right away on Instagram, found her page, and I like DM'd her. I'm like, hey girl, it's me, Tracie. She's like, no, it's not. And then I had to think, oh, wait a minute. We're in the era of people pretending to be
Yeah.
other people, find AI. Like, girl, you totally forgot technology is not the same. So I'm trying to convince her it's me. And then she's like, you know, I said, I'll take a picture of myself in real time. And then I was thinking, well, that could be AI too. Like,
Yeah.
none of this is working. And then I was still in this headspace where I really wasn't had it or was really ready to call people either. I was kind of just in my little bubble.
Mm.
And then we just kept kind of communicating. And then there was something, I think she asked me, like, say something that only you and I would know. And then I said, had to think it through. And then I said something, and she was like, oh my God, I think this is really her. So then she runs into Shanice at Shantae Moore's birthday party and goes, guess who I found? And she's like, I found Tracie Spencer. And she's, hit me on Instagram. And Shanice is like, no way. And how did it happen from there? Shanice then starts leaving me messages. And then I'm like, I'm going to call you like this weekend or whatever. I kept putting off calling her. It was weird. I think unless you've been through what I've been through or something similar, it's kind of hard for people to understand and without them reacting, going, I don't understand. Why you just call people? Why didn't you do that? And it's like, you understand the amount of trauma and just that I had gone through and going through dealing with mental health stuff, that it's not that easy. And I felt like, am I ready to start telling people what's been going on? Do I want to relive all of this stuff? And so all that went through my head. And then it was, I even went out to California. I didn't contact anybody. And then it wasn't until that following summer that I finally was like, okay, I'm going to call people. Let me see. Let me see how this works. And I reached out to Shauna. We started talking. And then I come out to LA because it was my birthday month is in July. Shauna's birthday is in July. And she coordinated everything. I mean, God bless Shauna. She hooked up, meeting up with Shanice, and I went to Shauna's house, got in a car with her. We drove out to Shanice's and out to her area, hooked up with Howard Hewitt, all went to dinner. And it was like a family reunion.
Wow.
I never participated in that category.
And somewhere in between us, or even loving us, on which I didn't miss you.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No, okay.
They don't understand what Jonas' voice is winning all spirits.
Play it.
I mean, I love all different genres.